Hi, I'm Jeff Gonzalez, president of Trident Concepts, and today I'm here with Brownells Daily Defense to talk to you about some home defense drills. All right, so what are we talking about with a home defense drill? Here, we need to first identify the types of disturbances that we could be thinking about. So there are a lot of different types of disturbances, and we're going to kind of isolate to just some of the most common ones that you can start to get the juices flowing, and then think about some of the other ones or ones that are maybe unique to your situation, your location. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a standard protocol or a standard response so that we don't have to think during these times. If this becomes a crisis or a critical incident, we don't have to try to think our way through the problem. We have to just rely on reflecting back on what we practiced. So coming up with a standard protocol for these different types of scenarios is going to be really helpful. So let's talk about what are some of the different scenarios. Well, one that's probably pretty popular is unsolicited knock at your front door. It should go without saying that if anybody knocks on any door other than the front door, you're going to need to change your approach towards handling that. But it is common to see people come to our front door. And a lot of times we get the unsolicited knock. Could be daytime, could be nighttime. But one of the things that you need to do is you need to identify a time period that it's inappropriate. So between these hours, and that immediately should alert you to something not being right. During the daytime, it might be common to have anything from, somebody that's trying to sell something to a neighbor that just wants to come over and have coffee, whatever the case might be, and your practices or your protocol might be a little bit different then. So an unsolicited knock, differentiate between what is an appropriate time, inappropriate time, and then realize that if it's a knock at any other door than the front door, you need to take different actions. Let's talk about coming home to a breach. So you're out shopping, you're out with your family, you're at some other type of activity, and you return to your home to find it breached. What could that mean? Well, that could mean that the front door has been opened or could be left open. Maybe somebody forgot to close the front door on their way out. How do you know? You might need to take a step back and evaluate that situation. But the question is, do I go in or do I leave? That'll depend on you. That'll depend on the situation. That'll also depend on what you can gather. If you can clearly see your front door has been broken down, probably not a good idea to go ahead and pursue anything further. If not, if maybe you thought, maybe I didn't close the door all the way, maybe I left it open, maybe somebody else in my party left it open, that's where you need to start to think, what am I going to do then? Then let's talk about actual true disturbances, true violent or criminal activity happening. And we're going to distinguish the times of day that they might happen. For instance, daytime. Maybe it's the summer and I'm home with the kids, or maybe it's during the school season and they're not there. So that's going to be something really important that you identify quickly is, are my children home? If you don't have any children, that's one less thing that you have to think about. But what about other people in your home? For instance, roommates or spouses. These are the types of things that you might want to give some thought to. Then let's talk about evening. So again, evening is when we're all still up. It hasn't yet become bedtime. And what are we doing? Are we eating dinner? Are we watching some sort of television program together? Or are we doing something as a family unit, whatever that might be? Because that's also going to dictate how you respond. And then the last one would be in the middle of the night, you're fast asleep, you're in your bedroom, and you recognize this disturbance, and now you need to take action. You need to execute your plan of action. How is that going to unfold? And again, a lot of that's going to depend on several things. One is the layout of your house. What are we talking about? Single story, multi-story, split ranch. Where are the other people? Where are the other occupants in my home during the middle of the night? It's going to also talk about, what do I have as resources? Is it better for me to barricade myself in my master bedroom and call for help? Or do I need to move to the other occupants, for instance, my children, or perhaps elderlies, or even other occupants that I have in my home? So you're going to have to try to think through that. And what is your skill level? What is the equipment that you have to work with? Are you by yourself? Do you have your spouse? You both need to move together? Does one barricade while you go and barricade with the kids? These are the types of questions that you might want to start to think about. And what we're doing here is we're just starting to engage or have a conversation about how are we going to react to these types of scenarios. And by no means are these the only type of scenarios that you can be confronted with, but these will help you to start thinking through these problems and having some type of solution or response should these occur? So whatever questions or comments you have, please feel free to post them down below. Until then, I'm Jeff Gonzalez. Take care and stay safe.